This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Next up, we should talk about Kurt Angle. He's going to be in there with Chris Benoit, and boy, they get plenty of time for this one. 23 minutes and 54 seconds. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match, and Kurt's going to win this match to regain his gold medals. The first fall was pinfalls only, and then they try something a little different. The second one is a submission finish, and the third and final fall is a ladder match. And of course, Edge and Christian come out to help him get the win because they're Team Eck. But the concept of it's 2 out of 3 falls, but the first fall is pinfalls, the second fall is submission, the third fall, it seems a little convoluted.
I agree. Again, trying to do more, trying to book more, trying to stay a step ahead of what we perceive that the fans wanted to see. I can make my argument that fans would have loved to have seen a 24, 25-minute match, straight 2 out of 3 falls. The 2 out of 3 fall stipulation in that era was unique enough that you didn't need to dumb it down with a little something in every fall. I thought that was another opportunity. Same illustration as the stairs. Did you really need it? And I say, when you have a Benoit versus Angle, you goddamn sure don't need any gimmicks. Just let them wrestle. 2 out of 3 falls. So, that was one of those deals you could have 2 out of 3 falls, 30-minute time limit, split falls and go to the draw, theoretically.
Right.
But you didn't need all the little whistles and bells. You got Benoit and Angle. What else you need?
I understand the concept of, we want to do 2 out of 3 falls. I get that. And I understand the concept of we want to try to mix in the submission finish since we've got over the ankle lock and the crippler crossface. But I think it could have been either or, just you could do the submission in the first fall or the second fall. But the thing that's weird to me is it feels like the company wasn't strong enough or didn't feel that this match was strong enough to exist without a ladder. Like either make it a ladder match or don't make it a ladder match. And I guess the concept is it only becomes viable if someone doesn't go 2-0, which is probably the story they were trying to tell, because at Insurrection, it was a clean sweep. Normally in a 2 out of 3 falls match, everyone who's listening to this has seen one of those. You go ABA or BAB, but nobody usually wins 2 straight. They did that in England, and maybe they're saying, well, there might not be a ladder match, but it feels like to me, if we think a ladder match is an attraction for pay-per-view, I don't know, just fucking make it a ladder match, right?
No, I'm going to make it 2 out of 3 falls.
Right.
I don't need your goddamn ladder. Put it back in the garage. And I don't need, you can win the match by pinfall just like you can win any match. Pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification. And don't start taking things out of all the, let's exclude this and let's exclude that. Because then you start dealing with the imagination. And they can't do that because they've already said you're not going to have this, you're not going to have that. I'm telling you, it's a generational type match. 2 of the greatest in-ring bell-to-bell performers, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, being able to see that in a 2 out of 3 fall environment. It's a 3-act play. I don't need your gimmicks and your outside shit. And if there are people in the company at that time that did not believe that Benoit and Angle could captivate an audience for 3 falls in a wrestling match, then that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Wouldn't you love to have that? I'd love to have a match of that level. Not maybe, of course, the Benoit situation is as it is, but I can tell you this right now. If Kurt was younger and in great health and wanted to go another round, him having a 2 out of 3 fall match with someone of Benoit's level, he would salivate for. He would love it because he's a gamer. He's an Olympian. He's an overachiever. And so what a canvas that is with somebody that could work. Let's say, how would it sound if you did a 2 out of 3 fall match with Kenny Omega and Kurt Angle? I think people would buy it.
Yeah.
Don't you think? And I don't need your goddamn ladder. I don't need your bathtub, the kitchen sink. No stopping for blood. Every stipulation you can think of to take your eye off wrestling. And I just believe that that was just a missed opportunity.
One more, and then we'll wrap this one up. This one's from Stonewall. Which of the Angle Benoit trilogy from 01 was Jim's personal favorite? The WrestleMania 17 match, the Backlash Ultimate Submission match, or this Judgment Day 2 out of 3 falls match?
Well, wow. Man, that's like saying, which of Mickey Mantle's home runs did you like the best? Hard to say, man. I can't remember any of those being significantly better than the other. I think their match at WrestleMania 17 got lost a little bit in the hoopla of Austin McMahon and Rock. I'm not sure, man. I'm looking at this thing. Judgment Day had a chance to be the best because it was 2 out of 3 falls. We jacked it up with all those ridiculous, unnecessary stipulations. So maybe by default, I would say, I don't know. It just wasn't. My favorite Benoit match in WWE was WrestleMania 20.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't against Kurt. I get that. But Angle and Benoit never had a bad outing. They always had a match that the boys would crowd around the monitors to watch, observe, because we were all marks for both those guys' work. But I guess because I don't remember the details of WrestleMania 17's match because of all the other things going on, I guess I'd say the Backlash 2 out of 3 falls. Again, all I'm going to say about that again is that it could have been made better if it had just been a 2 out of 3 falls match. And it's a 3-chapter book, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so if you had taken all that stipulation and all that bullshit away from it, they would have told that story would have been chapter 1 leads to chapter 2, chapter 2 leads to chapter 3, and the finish. It's real simple to lay out, but we had to go be cute and do something different. Sometimes that first time ever shit don't work.
Right.
Just because it says first time ever, it doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Right.
It's like saying, well, Conrad just shit his pants in that one episode, and
First time ever.
He took a dump in his drawers.
Well, not ever, just ever on the air.
So, but I can't remember any matches those guys had that weren't excellent. I love both their work, and you be sure to tell Kurt that when he recorded with his show airs on Saturday, right?
Yeah, he's on Sunday.
Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
You move that around. I apologize. So, but they were brilliant. And you just wish the world could be reversed. Things could be different in a lot of areas, personal life, injuries, and so forth. Because the pro wrestling business needs more guys in the ring, bell to bell, like Benoit and Angle. And so, anybody wants to at me on Twitter or wherever about how could you be so gracious about Chris Benoit? We're talking about bell to bell, folks. We're not talking about the husband, the father, and the tragedy of the last couple of days of his life. We're not talking about that. I hope you can understand that. But God damn it, it's really easy. If you can watch his matches, you'll see how extraordinary he was and how our business could use a good dose of a Chris Benoit-like in-ring performer. And hell, we all know about Kurt. The thing about Kurt's issue is that son of a gun could probably go out and back in the ring tomorrow. He'd be better than 90% of the guys on the roster. He might not be as good as he once was, but he's as good once as he ever was. That's my Toby Keith.
I was going to say, I've heard that before.
That's right. I usually fuck it up.
Well, you nailed that one. And by the way, if you want to hear more about this match, you can go check out the Kurt Angle show. We did a deep dive on the entire trilogy, including this match. It's available now over at the Kurt Angle Show, anywhere you enjoy podcasts. Next week, we're going to be back talking about a very special performer. And boy, this should be a lot of fun. Your old great close personal friend, Mr. Lex Luger, is the subject next week. What do you think we might talk about next week, just in time for Lex's birthday?
Well, he's somewhat maligned at times because he looked so wonderful. He had such great athletic skills, but I never thought that he totally invested his heart and soul in pro wrestling. And I hope that I'm wrong with that assumption, because he could have been the answer for WCW if it just worked out better. But it'll be interesting to talk about. He's a very complex individual. I'm glad I got to work with him, but we didn't always see eye to eye because I was all wrestling all the time. And of course that may have been the reason too. I was between marriages, and he was, it didn't seem to me like he had that same attitude, which doesn't make him wrong. It just makes him different than my anal ass. Here I'm just trying to, that's my life.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys that had heat with Luger were in my camp. Pro wrestling was their life, like you. It's part of your DNA now.
Yeah.
You entered a family, you married into a family. I mean, literally. and now here you are, where pro wrestling makes up a large part of your life. And I would venture to say you wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, having a great time.
I sure as hell wouldn't. So, and I want you to continue to have a good time. So, because I enjoy this whole process, and I enjoy the folks listening. It's really cool. They give a shit.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.